The MacBook Neo, Apple's newest addition to the MacBook lineup, is what I'd like to call the perfect imperfect MacBook. Maxed out at 8GB of RAM, 512GB of storage, and equipped with the A18 Pro chip, the specs of this MacBook are by no means S tier. However, the fact that this computer has so many limitations is actually the thing that makes it great. $599 will get you Apple's newest and coolest MacBook. The Neo comes in 4 different colors: your typical boring silver, blush aka pink, indigo, and the most eye-catching MacBook ever, citrus. Let's be honest, Apple products are all about status, and the Citrus Neo screams, "Look what I have." That's exactly why I pre-ordered it to get my hands on it on release day. Again, I'll be the first to admit that the Neo isn't for everyone. If I didn't already have a killer PC, this definitely wouldn't be for me. Nevertheless, there are still so many use cases for the Neo, for myself and a lot of other people. But before I get into that, let's talk tech specs. The unboxing experience of the Neo is not unlike any other MacBook. However, in the box, the Neo comes with a 30-watt charging block and a USB-C charging cable. No MagSafe cable, as the Neo doesn't come equipped with a MagSafe charging port, and only 2 USB-C ports. Though these ports are the same form factor, the speed of the 2 ports differ. One port supports speeds of up to 10 GB per second, while the other is capped at 480 megabytes per second. On both sides of the MacBook, you'll notice the dual speakers and a headphone jack. The MacBook Neo comes equipped with a beautiful liquid retina display that supports 1 billion colors. It's not quite as good as the Air or Pro models, as it lacks True Tone and it is limited to the sRGB color space. However, for a laptop at this price point, it is quite good. The Neo's A18 Pro chip is actually the same chip that's powering my iPhone 16 Pro Max. If you remember when the iPhone 16 Pros came out, Apple was all about Apple Intelligence. Now, they never actually delivered on the Apple Intelligence promises that year, but this iPhone, specifically the A18 chip, was designed to handle local AI. That's exactly what a computer in today's day and age needs. Whether you're planning to use Apple's AI toolkit or have an AI assistant like Cluely assist you with your meetings and note-taking, the A18 Pro will be more than good enough with its 6-core CPU, 5-core GPU, 16-core neural engine, and 60 gigabytes per second memory bandwidth. I did say earlier that the Neo is maxed out at 8 gigabytes of RAM and that it was a limitation, but it's probably not as big of a limitation as people realize. I don't know what phone model you have, but my phone is a powerful enough device to handle things like AAA gaming and editing, all while handling a bunch of tasks in the background. Naturally, since the Neo is powered by the same chip, you can expect similar performance, if not better. The fact is that Apple Silicon has gotten so efficient. Because Apple now designs both hardware and software components of its computers, it more or less breaks the limit of a typical computer equipped with the same components. I just also want to mention that up until the release of the M4 chip, Apple offered 8 gigabytes of RAM on base model MacBook Pros, so if 8 gigabytes is good enough on a Pro model, it is most definitely good enough for the lower performance of the Neo. The last gripe that someone will have with this MacBook is the storage. The base model only comes with 256 gigabytes of storage, and you have one option to upgrade to 512 gigabytes. In my opinion, the 512 gigabyte option is the better choice and is also the amount of storage that I've had on my M3 MacBook Air, with no complaints other than Apple stealing over 100 gigabytes of the 512 for system data. It is possible to reclaim that space by deleting cache files and hidden files that you need to be a little techie to find. However, all that is for another video, and for now, I'll just give you my workaround. By using an external SSD like this 4TB SanDisk Pro SSD, I'm able to access all my files extremely fast in a small portable case and gives me the extra space I need whether I'm at home or on the go. Which leads me to talk about how I would integrate the Neo into my everyday workflow. I plan to use this computer where it excels. I'm not even going to bother to attempt to run Blender or After Effects on this computer, but lighter software like Photoshop and Lightroom are definitely a go. Even Final Cut and Premiere are usable on this machine to an extent. AI tools and anything that helps with work and productivity, Notion, Slack, Canva, Discord are all going to be software that I'll run on this computer. The Neo may not be an all-around beast, but when it comes to portability and efficiency, it's definitely keeping up with the likes of the MacBook Air. I think that users of this MacBook should keep that in mind and not expect insane performance from this laptop. But when it comes to tasks like planning, research, studying, video calls, or using AI, the Neo is more than good enough. So if you're a student or a working professional who craves portability and a long-lasting battery life packaged in a sleek Apple design, the MacBook Neo is definitely for you. So what are you waiting for?